With a soft tread upon the ground, eyes keen in darkness, ears of a sharpness, often sought after, but rarely found. I've come to run it down. Where you have ended up, dreamed of an empire, sick with a canker, foretold the disaster that it brings. Chain reaction, sweet distraction. You meddle in places you should not be. I've come to run it down. Where you have ended up,
Good evening and welcome back to the Fraticelli faithful who are trying to turn Europe less prone to having an incredibly rich Catholic Church or something like that. Yes, but we'll try. Hey, we've got rather weirdly a stable about 90 members. Everyone is convinced that Queen Oneka is a member of a secret society, which is hardly surprising because Queen Oneka is a member of a secret society. So what I can't quite remember what we're still in a situation where there aren't that many. We've got a reasonable number of landed members now.
There's one that's still in orbit, I reckon.
Oh, right, yes. So I can't quite remember where we've left things. So I'm just going to have a quick look through Queen Oneka's. Actually, it's probably easier to do it. Vassals. If we sort her vassals by rank, then we can see who has a secret religion marker. It's still well under half of her count level vassals. We can't tutor Ignatius, Duke of Aleppo. Don't think they are all wearing little hats. So we might want to wait for him to grow up because he'll be, or wait for him to be 8 years old, at which point we can start indoctrinating him into our religion. So he doesn't appear to be. As far as I can see, the visibility of our secret cult doesn't seem to cause us any trouble. So I'm kind of tempted to just go all out indoctrinating everyone until I run out of. Actually, how much have I got left? Okay, I have only got 388 devotion left, so I should perhaps be a bit careful. Has anyone got an heir who's a good age? He's 12. Why haven't we indoctrinated him yet? Am I currently teaching 2 people? Do I need to palm one of them off on someone else? I have a feeling I'm currently teaching 2 people, both of whom are my children. But like Golbahar's not that exciting. We should palm her off on a courtier somewhere, I think. Possibly we should palm her off on a vassal so as to improve their opinion of us, but where's a vassal who doesn't much like us? Nuno, Duke of Galilee. Who is there here who will be an excellent person for Golbahar to be taught by? No one. You've got a completely disastrous court, Nuno. You're no use. How about Alberic of Tripoli? Does he have anyone worth sending my daughter to? Oh, well, Emelrich looks like he might be pretty decent. So that will improve Duke Alberic's opinion of me by 10, which will be good. I'm sure Golbahar will be fine. Right, so once that's happened, then we can try to recruit that son of a duke, yes. Because children are nice and cheap to recruit even if they're landed. Right, so she has now cleared off. So it was, yes, Athelwold's son. Oh no, not Athelwold's son. We should deal with him as well, but not just yet because he's only 7. Ignatios is himself a child, but we can't fix him yet. Theodoros is already a member of the Fraticelli faithful and has inducted his heir already. Excellent, nice one, Theodoros. Nuno, all right, Nuno, whom I was trying to send, who didn't have anyone good to tutor my child, is apparently tutoring his own son, Eramun. Well, how about if I offer to tutor Eramun? If I do it like this, that saves buttons. Send Eramun to me, I'll teach him properly.
To be a Fraticello.
Shush. Fraticello.
Yes, it is really good. Fraticello's funny.
I don't know. What is a musical instrument?
Right. And so now we can go, Eramun. This one doesn't cost me any stuff, it looks like, devotion. So possibly I should just be like inducting every damn child in the kingdom.
I mean, if you could, surely you would. The problem is number of available inductors.
Well, but I can do it quite quickly. It only takes a few days. Right, little Eramun has been properly inducted and is now secretly Fraticelli. So now we can palm him off on some random courtier. I mean, we could try to pick a good courtier. Like Maior, who is totally not a good courtier. Polycarpos would be much better. Oh. You're actually not going to allow me to hand him over to some random courtier, are you not? That's inconvenient.
Oh, what's the prestige of it being new?
Well, I'll just keep teaching him myself then. We'll use my other ward slot, shuffle my son off to some courtier temporarily, and bring him back again when we've finished converting everyone else. So Theodoros is conveniently sorted. Nuno, or rather, Nuno's son is conveniently sorted. Gonçal is currently also sorted. Martin Gartzes is not. He's unlanded. Yeah, it's worth burning 50 on him. Hildeberg's child is only 4. Right, so Martin, ooh, he might be quite difficult to convert actually. He's gregarious, so we can talk to him about community. Oh, was there some reason why I was saving that thing? I should pay attention to that. Right, we can tell slightly in advance of the message that he has... do we really want someone with 0 in every one of their attributes to join the Fraticelli faithful? I don't think that will be very helpful.
So dropped on the head as a small child.
Something like that, yes. He is slow.
It's very slow.
Yes. Oh right, yes, he is actually imbecile. -8 in, which gives you a -8 in every category, I think. It's pretty hard to get above 0 when you have a -8 penalty. Spectacular -28 personal combat skill. Anyway,
Not really too much with elongating the face.
so Engeltraud of Damascus has yet to be converted, but she is a duchess, so that's likely to be quite difficult. Her heir, Wilhelm di Spoleto, is her son. He is zealous, so he's likely to be quite hard to convert as well. As is his wife. Okay, I think Damascus may be a bit of a lost cause at the moment. The Duke and also Count of Q8 is already Fraticelli, so that will, maybe he can sort that out. Gonzalo of Ascalon is not yet converted, though his wife is. Duchess Gurley, and as is his heir. Right, that's about as good as that's going to get. Okay, the heir to the Duchy of Tripoli is not yet converted, and neither is the Duke, but that's likely to be tricky to achieve. Gurley, spelt Gurli. Let's go for the wife again on the grounds that if we can induct her, then when we make everyone who's secretly Fraticelli openly Fraticelli, he can follow her faith if he thinks that's a sensible plan. Right, so I should palm off my son on someone else for now. Look through here for someone reasonably good. Ilke looks pretty decent. So, unfortunate religion, but whatever. I need one pause so that actually happens. Oh no, he's going to need some persuading. Meanwhile, we are trying to sort Duchess Adelgundis of Tripoli. So she's an indulgent wastrel, deceitful and craven, and well, I think we want to go fair and mighty ruler because of indulgent wastrel. Barely. So our problem with Alberich is that he doesn't like us quite enough. Let's try sending him some alcohol. Where's my alcohol button? Oh no, I'm not the ruler anymore. I can't send alcohol. I have to actually send cash. How annoying. Now will you let me borrow your son? Yes, good. Right, Lambert is now my ward. Duchess Adelgundis has joined the Fraticelli faithful. No, has become Fraticelli. She does have 0 diplomacy.
Therefore, you don't want her in the actual secret society.
Probably not, no. There is, I mean, it's not very dangerous, but it does mean that she'll probably annoy people rather than successfully converting them.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally a thing in real religions. There are definitely people who, when they convert away from your side, you breathe a sigh of relief.
Yes. Right. Steward Lettelem has collected a special tithe in Mosul. Excellent. That's funded my persuading Alberich that he should let me borrow his son. Oh dear. Right, yes. Let's maybe not try converting the zealous lunatic son of... zealous lunatic heir to Outre Jourdain. Probably won't go well. Yes. And the wife is also zealous, and actually Duke Athelwold is not zealous, but he's a duke, which gives you a pretty bad penalty. He's not going to join my court, so I can't. Well, I suppose I can try to do it remotely. No. Oh, someone's already tried to induct him into the faith. Right. How about the wife? No one's tried to induct her. She's not zealous. She is a brilliant strategist, so we should give her a legendary warrior. I've successfully converted little Lambert. The peasants have revolted in Azarka. Sure, I might go and deal with them in a moment. Duchess Gregoria has become Thing Fraticelli faithful. That will do for now. Caught my young ward Ehrman torturing a rat. He's... I wonder if we should try to also convert his betrothed. Probably be fine. Also, someone has already converted her. So he will eventually become one of my dukes. I think we'll probably prefer our vassals to be kind rather than cruel. I am trying to get up to 2,000 piety, I think. Or is it 5,000 piety?
Don't mind the detail.
2,000 piety. So let's demand the 5 piety for doing the thing which really doesn't help.
Are you trying to get paragon virtues?
Yes, but like... Oh yes, we'll...
Piety according to your ostensible religion or your actual one?
I think ostensible. It's kind of like influence with the Pope, among other things. So I think... But it does transfer across to your new religion, so... Oh, I left it unpaused. Oh, I was meant to be organising myself for going to Finland, wasn't I? Stoatface. Right. Yes, well, we might turn up quite late to this crusade. Queen Oneka the Just has accepted a call to arms from Pope Sylvester III, opposing High Chief Rastos, the Lord of Ostrobothnia. Due to having pledged to join the crusade, Queen Oneka the Just had no other choice. Okay. In a grand announcement, the Pope declares another crusade for Finland. Yes, this is the second crusade for Finland. The first one is why the Pope's in Finland in the first place.
There was an attempt at a crusade for Finland, wasn't there?
Yes, and I redirected that one, or rather, one of my previous characters redirected that one to somewhere easier to get to.
302, let's go over here instead.
Yes. So, yes, this is the second actual crusade for Finland. And as you say, the third attempt at a crusade for Finland. Deus Vult. Right, I should probably actually organise my troops to go to Finland then. How many troops should I send to Finland? Should I go to war with Abyssinia at the same time? No, yes, Abyssinia is Catholic, so he might send all his troops to Finland. Because there's this bloody great hole in my territory that's now Abyssinia.
Yeah. Or you could try and outspend Abyssinia in the coming crusade and use that money to bankroll your attempt on Abyssinia.
Okay, I only actually have a claim on one of the counties at the moment, so that's kind of inconvenient anyway.
Well, presumably some of it.
Is it two different duchies? No, it's all in the Duchy of Samara. So what I really need is to invite one of those, make them mayor of that place I've conveniently got lying around. Actually, they're mostly di Spoletos. I don't even have to do that. And they've got claims on the Duchy of Samara, which would be a much more sensible approach. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to invite both of them just to be on the safe side. Not like your problem having too many people in my court. I mean, obviously I want to send some mission to Finland. And the nice thing, of course, about crusades is that my vassals won't mind if I've raised all of their troops to go to Finland. How strong is Abyssinia? 7,500. So I can't quite beat it just with my domain troops if it sends nothing to the crusade itself. But on the other hand, well, I can presumably find out now whether he's joined the crusade. Looks like he might not have, as I have a attacking thing. What's his name? King Alfonso of Abyssinia. Can't see him in the list, certainly. I mean, it's going to be. There is a danger that the crusade will be won before I can get my troops there, mind. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to be much richer after this crusade than Abyssinia is. Abyssinia is fairly rich at the moment. Okay, I think we ignore Abyssinia for now and go on this crusade and then fix Abyssinia when we get back, just because I don't like having that great big hole in my territory. So do I send lots of troops, or do I send just enough that I can cycle all my commanders through in to get the Crusader trait?
I'd send a fair whack, because otherwise your returns will be lower.
Okay. Let's hope that we can get everyone there in reasonable time then. Actually, what I shall do is I'll raise some troops on the coast and send them immediately.
So make sure you raise them in coastal territories.
So my largest coastal army is in Jaffa. It's pile them onto a ship and immediately send them to Finland. With the idea being that thus at least they will get there before the crusade ends. Okay, they can't fit on that group of ships. So let's accumulate all of my ships and all of my remaining coastal armies. In Tyrus. Generally trying to see if I can raise troops reasonably close to the coast to minimise walking distance. That of course is my capital. Might not have enough troops to bring enough ships to bring it all these though. Because annoyingly I have quite a lot of land and not very much of it's coastal.
Remember, you can hire ships as well.
Oh, yes. I don't know that I've ever tried doing that.
It is expensive.
I think I've raised most of that lot. Yes. Let's just press the raise all remaining troops button and then see where they are. Okay, there's 645 there. Is everyone now moving? 2,000 down in Rafa. An army of 78 all the way over in Shiraz. How about you just stay in Shiraz? Don't think we need you. Right. We have brought in a couple of claimants on the Duchy of Thingamy, Samara, so that we can use them later. Oh, we have too many children kicking around who need what? Oh, well, I have no idea. Well, actually, ideally, I would convert you to my religion first. Have I got any spare slots? Not right now. Let's try to dispose of No, Lambert was the one I was finding it hard to get rid of, wasn't it? Oh, I can't remember. No, it was Lambert I wasn't finding it hard to get rid of. Let's transfer him to someone else. Let's say. Right, and then I can take on Oria Antses, who obviously needs... Oh, no, she's zealous. What's the good of that? Okay, well, we'll just assign her to someone fairly random then. There's another child who wants someone though. Piares Anses di Spoleto. Right, well I can teach him at least. Him I can get through to. My ward Eremun has a tender and loving soul, trusting everyone in the castle. Excellent. He's going to be a duke someday. We'll make him a kind duke. Maybe I could have got some more piety for that. Oh well. Right, let's join those fleets. So we've got 93 fleets there, which is ships there, which is quite nice. Though nowhere near enough, probably. I don't know. Well, once we've got enough people to fill up 93 ships accumulated in Tyrus, then we'll stuff them onto the ships and send them on their way, and then see who else arrives later and whether we have to hire some ships to get them going.
Remember, of course, once you've deposited them in Finland, you can send the ships back.
Yes, but it is quite a long way.
It is quite a long way.
I mean, it's especially long by this route. You'd like to be able to like send them by crow or something.
Well, sadly, we're not Vikings, and it's a bit too late to be able to just go sailing straight through the middle of Europe. Like, if we were Vikings and a bit earlier, I think you can actually go up the rivers between the Black Sea and the Baltic. With a little bit of portaging in the middle. Yes, there is indeed a danger that the Finns will lose before we get there. That's why I sent some ships on ahead. Meanwhile, let us attempt to induct this child. Right, he's been dealt with. Piares is now Fraticelli. Just now hand him off to someone else. We've got 7,500 troops here, nearly ready. 10,000, right, we'll need to split off a few of those. Like that. Load that lot onto a ship. And post them off to Finland. So yes, my first batch are currently passing through the Strait of Gibraltar. You can see that quite a lot of ships are ahead of me.
Yes. Hopefully you'll get some, at least get partial credit for raising your troops.
I don't think you get any credit until you arrive. Grand Prince Sviatoslav II of Mordva currently has the highest score.
Ah, for being local.
followed by Grand Prince Yaropolk of Novosil. Currently, Queen Aneka is quite a long way down the list at 0%, along with, like, there's only 5 people who've managed to actually contribute anything yet. Anyway, let's carry on looking for people to convert. The Countess of Rabar looks like she ought to be achievable. No, someone's tried to convert her recently already. Well, let's go for this guy then. Oh, yes, my court chaplain is secretly Fraticelli. He will go for community because he's gregarious. Duke Alberich has apparently imprisoned lots of people. Who are you currently at? Well, I think you've just finished the war, haven't you? Tripolitanian War for elective monarchy has ended with no elective monarchy, I think. Oh, someone's founded an independence faction. Is that mine or? Okay, there's an independence faction in Outremer if we wanted to try to get independence from Outremer.
Surely the point of an independence faction is that they're not anybody's.
Well, yes. Who is it that they don't want to be? Was really the question I was asking.
What's the crusade score?
So we're at still at 5% war score. I have none of it.
Yeah, that's fine. That means you can get there in time too.
Currently, my ships are somewhere off at Frisia.
You'll get somewhere in time.
I mean, you may have been worrying too much that the war would end before you get there, given the AI's terribleness at prosecuting wars.
Yeah, but it's got a truly overwhelming advantage here. Like, we have at least
But
3 times their strength.
yeah, but given how good the AI is at getting allies together, you might struggle. Also, don't forget the truly piddling supply limits.
We have got military organisation up to the level where they're not completely terrible. So they're like 12,000 or so now.
Maybe that's not so bad. I mean, but don't forget, for a lot of people, it will be terrible.
None of the available mercenaries seem to have a non-zero number of ships. Am I looking in the wrong place? Oh, do I click on fleet levies, do I? No.
Yeah, fleet levies should.
I mean, it appears that, oh, of course, I've probably got some like on the wrong side of the Suez Canal. I of course have no fleets of my own, but none of these that I thought that I vaguely remembered there being specifically mercenary fleets, but
Yeah.
there don't seem to be any on the list. Everything has 0 in the boats column, which is inconvenient.
Maybe they're only in the early game.
Mathieu has become Fraticelli. Abebe is already. Garcia of Tyrus is zealous. His wife, though, is not. Let's try to make her Fraticellish. And conveniently, his heir is Duke Gonzalo of Baghdad, who is already Fraticelli secretly. Oh, we have another child lying around who apparently wants tutelage. Well, am I currently available, or do I need to shuffle people again? No, I'm currently available. Excellent. Right. Prince Bishop Thingamy wants some philosophy, I think. Countess Hildeberg will go for community.
Well, the milk is horizontal in the sink, so it probably was the milk that made the subbing noise earlier.
Right, how's our fleet doing about getting up here? Aha, it has arrived. Excellent. Well, let's get my tiny little army ashore. Entirely nominal army of 500 men. Aha, the Prince Bishop has read his Bible and, like, presumably is reading it with the correct attitude, given that it's probably very similar to the Bible he had already. Let's try to get him to join the Fraticelli faithful, but probably not Countess Hildeberg. Oh, Duke Morcar II of Outre-Jourdain, who was annoyingly zealous and lunatic, has at the age of 8 inherited Outre-Jourdain. Yes, I know I've appointed a heretic. Shush. Well, let's make, no, we can't. Apparently, he's too far away. Right. So Duke Athelwold finally died at the age of 75. And his only son, Morcar, has inherited. Right, well, let's send those ships home at least. Let's allow myself to lead troops in, again, a slightly nominal fashion. Put myself at the head of my army. And with sword in hand, I'm ready to storm the walls of Suomi. Our armies now stand poised to take part in the crusade for the theocracy of Finland. Right, and I am now a crusader. Which, like, actually gives me a level of martial skill that makes it worth leading armies. So let's, at the very least, run through all of my commanders who weren't Crusaders already. And now I can do the much more tedious bit of appointing different commanders. Would it be quicker to appoint? No, that would be a terrible idea, Ben. Don't do it. So we can appoint Gonzalo and drop him in there. And now, just to confirm, he has become a Crusader. Sort these by rank, that'll make my life easier, won't it? He's already a Crusader, he's already a Crusader. Gonzalo of Baghdad is an imbecile, but nonetheless should become a Crusader. Actually, he's not an imbecile, he's got 3 things. Now I've got 5 things. But keep it sorted the sensible way. Duke of Palmyra is now a Crusader. Alberic's already got it. Count of Nisibin is now a Crusader. That's Count Merzard, who one of my previous characters found on a crusade and brought back to Outremer with him. So that's all of my Duke level vassals Crusaderified. Can I be bothered dealing with everyone else? Probably not my entire court, no. Might be worth doing all of my council, just because that will give them a higher opinion of me. So Bishop Thomas of Persepolis, actually I can just take them all off their current tasks. Bink, 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 and then can they lead troops just by virtue of their roles? Apparently not. No, I do also need to appoint them as commanders. What an inconvenience. Means I have to remember who they are. Oh, I suppose they're probably the people with the highest of each of the skills, aren't they? Augustine, Chancellor of Algeciras. He is now a Crusader. Why is he sorted halfway down that list, eh? That's just inconvenient. We've already dealt with my with my Marshal. Lettelem, sorry, Steward of Algeciras. He's now a Crusader. Ingvar, Spy Master of Algeciras, is now a Crusader. And well, actually, our Court chaplain is quite a long way down the list. Have we attempted to convert? Oh, that guy's zealous. That's why he's not our court chaplain, because we can't convert him to the correct religion. And then the next batch are actually all 19. So Bishop Tomasz, I think, is now also a crusader. Right, now let's find the person who's meant to be in that commander slot and put them back. Probably Silvestro. Right. I did notice a bunch of minor titles that have no longer assigned to anyone, so let's dish those out in a semi-random fashion. Engeltraud can become Keeper of the Swans. Benin can become Master of the Horse. Appears to be all that's currently available. Right, I think I should be leading this army, because that way I get any events that happen to it. The first batch of ships is on its way back. Oh dear, we haven't managed to recruit the Prince Bishop of Arca into the into our secret society. Well, let's find some more people to recruit then. He's zealous. Got as far as Arca, actually, yes. Countess of Madabar. Oh no, she's zealous. Her heir is only 1 year old. Her betrothed is for some reason Lambert of Essex, who's 11 and is already Fraticelli, because I've recently converted him. Okay, well that's as good as that's going to get. Count of Bahrain is similarly zealous. His wife isn't, but she's already secretly Fraticelli. His son, Liutbert di Spoleto, might be worth doing something about. I'm apparently teaching Heramel, even though he's only 6. Oh, that was an interesting sequence of buttons. Can we palm off Ehrman on someone else yet? Am I going to have to do something about this? All right, he is willing to allow Ehrman to be transferred now. That's nice. Well, let's send him. Oh, he won't send him. Let me send him to Polycarpos though. Okay, what? The first suggestion is apparently acceptable. Whoever Anso is, well, okay, that'll do. Right. Right, Shiraz now has a secret Fraticelli community.
Are that army just sort of sitting there, or are you sending them somewhere useful?
I'm sending them somewhere.
Okay.
They're just taking a little while to get there,
Not useful. Okay, right, that's fine.
because I'm mostly spending my time faffing with religions.
Okay, I just wanted to check that you've not forgotten them while you were doing this.
Right, so now we should try to bring... Oh no, Liutbert's already been converted. Excellent. She's too young. He might be convertible though. Right, he is a charismatic negotiator. I think that means we can probably get him with community. Count Jamil of Als. Right, I think there's some kind of a war that's ended. Right, with a revolt, okay. I mean, my kind of hope is that I can attach my army to some slightly more powerful army. Because I can't hope to squish anything on it on my own. On the other hand, we are immediately suffering attrition because there are too many more powerful armies kicking around. Let's not attach ourselves to an army that's so big that we'll start suffering, we'll perpetually suffer attrition. Those 5,000 there look like a more sensible target. Maybe those 8,000 over there. Yes, Count Ramiro, please join us. No, there's now 40,000 troops here. Stop it.
Decided what they lack in army size, they're going to try to make up for with confusion.
Yes. Well, no, there's... They've got plenty of army size. They're just using it badly.
Ah, their own confusion.
Excellent, he's joined us. Maybe I just have to accept that we're going to have terrible attrition.
Well,
Off we go. Let's have some terrible attrition. Okay, Prince Bermudo is already Fraticelli, so we don't really need to do anything clever with him. Anyway, our big army is about to arrive.
that feels quite heavy. I might be fine.
On average, it was the heavy odd.
It was
Each date.
right first.
Maybe some little borrow? Some collection, yes.
Okay, apparently I have to be slightly more careful and make sure that my troops actually get off the ships before the ships leave. Lots of ransoming going on. Right, now we'll send the ships back. That wasn't what I meant. Let's detach that lot and join them up to my useful army, which has now arrived. Meanwhile, I seem to be lacking a warlord. Let's go back to looking at my vassals and seeing who among them I should try to recruit into my religion. Why is he not been recruited yet, eh? Because he's dead. Well, that's kind of a good excuse, really. I think my my character finder has been open so long that people have been dying off it. Right, so the new Count of El Arish also wants converting. Let's close the character finder so it can recover. Right, meanwhile, where the hell are we? Oh, there we are. Right. Oh, it's a complete mess up here. Right, we are, though, the first people to arrive for this siege. The only people to arrive for this siege, which is excellent. Someone has turned up to have a battle with us, but we're winning it. Right, Count Monio is gregarious, so he can like community. Georg Welf, who is of no significance, is nonetheless an adult and has grown up Fraticelli. Right, have we now actually contributed something to this war? Yes, Queen Anaka has contributed 3% to the crusade.
That's rocketing you up the list into the top 10.
Well, yeah, just about. I'm now going to start actually working on this siege quickly,
Yeah, sieges are good.
because no one else seems to be bothering to besiege things. So,
Well, that's partly because they're busy running around because they
bah, Monio has not converted.
no can't keep enough people in there. Supply limit, that's the word I'm looking for. All words I'm looking for. I should turn it between mute. Mute people tomorrow.
I shall off mute to
Mute.
which will be the government amphibian watchdog.
I'm not sure that made any sense.
Just looking through to see if there's anyone I can sensibly induct. It's looking like now we're at the stage where quite a few people have already been invited. No, we're not having her inducted. Those who haven't are thus not currently willing to be Maybe we can get Count Saxbold before he grows up, if we're quick. It looks like an abandoned battlefield, the dead strewn across the landscape. The Crusaders certainly met quite the resistance here in Tavastia. Really? Well, let's bury them for 15 piety. Meanwhile, no. Right, assault. Oh dear, has Augustine died? Yes, right, I need a new Chancellor, that's pity. No one good in my realm. Chancellor of Saxony with 27. Pity he's zealous, because getting him as a Fraticellum would actually not help very much. 23 is just as good for our purposes. Still, having him as a Chancellor would also be excellent. At least until I admit that I'm a Fraticellum. Right.
I assume the stylish way to finally come out as a Fraticellification is to have inducted all of your cabinet, but none of them know about each other yet. Then you call in the boardroom and say, actually, all of you.
Yeah, I don't know whether, if you're not a member of the secret society, you know about everyone else who shares your secret religion.
I mean, if they're anything like a competent secret society, they'll be organised into separate cells or something.
Yes. Right, Heinrich Huppoldinger has turned up.
But I suppose ideas like that might count as spycraft tech that you haven't developed yet or something.
Someone's already tried to induct Count Saxbold and failed. What a nuisance.
Oh, that immunises him permanently.
It immunises him for a little while, and he's like 2 months off being 16. I mean, maybe I then get another try because we use different techniques on adults. Right, that's that county taken. Let's march in the direction where there doesn't appear to be a friendly army. Yeah, so I think I want everything in that brown area. So I think that should have got me. Well, let's check. Tavastia. Yeah, that's 4% war score. I should have got credit, quite a bit of credit for that. Thank you, but I haven't. I'm still stuck on 3%. Bah, well, let's keep occupying everything. Occupy all the things. Plus, like, there'll be a convenient battle. A local merchant caravan approaches me on its way back home to Usimar. One of the peddlers flashes me a huge grin and asks if I want to take a look at his wares. Well, for 124 gold, I could get the Axe of the Ancestors. How am I off for artifacts at the moment? I have actually got an elegant warhammer. Oh, go on, let's buy the Axe of the Ancestors just in case it's useful. Okay, somehow I've managed to equip both of them. Possibly because I equipped them in two different hands.
It's like as badass, she can do a wheel.
Certainly looks like it has its uses. No martial boost, but it does give you +3 feudal vassal opinion. But yes, I do actually appear to be able to wield both of them somehow.
Well, I wouldn't want to be the next enemy commander who gets in your way.
Ah, right. The elegant warhammer is for actually taking onto the battlefield and is equipped as weapon. The axe of the ancestors is not for taking onto the battlefield and is equipped as a ceremonial weapon. Which is why it doesn't give me any improved martial or personal combat skill, but does make people like me.
Because you're not actually holding it. Good night.
Right, we are constructing our siege weapons, which might be useful. That appears to be a battle between two of my allies. I wonder what they're up to. I have noticed Marshal King Athelwold's hard work, and everyone seems to like him. I'm deciding between having my marshal heighten the morale of my troops or trying to recruit more soldiers. I think we'll heighten the troops' morale, because recruiting more soldiers is not very useful if we can't get them here. On which subject? We have 26 ships here and far more troops than can fit on 26 ships. But let's at least get those onto those ships and heading back to Finland. I mean, they might not get to do anything, but we'll see. Did I actually appoint my new Chancellor? No, I didn't. Let's get my new Chancellor into place. And let's send him to Palmyra to improve opinion there. Okay. Maria von Weinsberg has just married my Chancellor for some reason. Oh, do I not have a steward? Has my steward dropped dead as well? Right, find a new steward. He seems slightly less worrying. This one has some rather odd traits. In particular, wants to be granted a title. Don't think I want to go granting people titles, that sounds dangerous. 5 days until we can launch an assault. This is bad for our troop numbers, but on the other hand it gets us things besieged quickly. Thank you. You don't need to send me letters to tell me we've besieged things. I'm standing right next to you. Who are you and why have you just arrived at my court? Oh, you're my new steward, right? Yes. Welcome to my court. Hasn't the second round of ships arrived yet? If I'm not terribly confused. Oh, there they are. No, that's the ones who've just departed. Oh, there they are. Right, yes. And they'll be able to bring the rest of the troops if, of course, the war hasn't ended by the time they get there. I'm up to 5th in the rankings of Crusade contributors. I've encountered faithful Wilhelm many times while carrying out my duties for the Fraticelli faithful, and it is always a pleasant occasion. We can talk for hours if the time allows, because he never bores me. While our discussions are often lengthy, we always seem to agree on the matters which are most important. Probably don't have a crush on Duke Wilhelm of Damascus, but I think he should definitely become my friend. Right, so I think that county is also useful. There is someone there, but I think they're all leaving it. So I think I want to step across that border. Slightly worried by that. No, neither of those is my problem. I think there are lots of little battles going on here that are like between other people who happen to be at war with one another for other reasons. Yeah, I don't know that I can really assault this one. It's a bit scary. Excellent, thank you for cheering up the Duke of Palmyra. Just investigate these counties. Do they have squishier things? They do. I wonder if it's worth wandering over there rather than trying to assault this lot. Or not assault. It doesn't look like anyone's doing any besieging up there. Let's wondering, does it take so long for me to get there that I'm not going to actually gain anything by doing so? Don't get told when we're expected to arrive there, sadly. I suppose I can estimate how long this siege is going to take. About 60 days. Okay, it's probably actually worth staying here because there'll be more war score from a good siege. And you know it's going to take longer because I don't know, people are actually willing to join me in the siege. That's nice. So that fleet has arrived. Probably that one's going to be pointless, but let's send it up here anyway. We're up to 4th. Looks like I can imprison quite a lot of my dukes at the moment. Don't know if I want to do that. Okay, I don't think this is of any relevance to me. So I should actually look at where my... right, so Ordonio already has an intended, but Bermudo doesn't. And neither does Golbahar. We should sort them out at some point. Probably not right now because I'm kind of in the middle of a war. Okay, he's randomly usurped a county, I think, because someone was rebelling or something. I don't know. I know he was trying to revoke it for some reason. Yeah, that might be an idea. Probably don't want to imprison all the non-Fraticelli ones right now, but maybe we do that before we suddenly reveal what we're doing. Well, we've got a decent... we're going to win this siege pretty soon anyway. Siege of Ravioli has been finished. No, it's not Ravioli. Well, let's head up to Ostrobothnia then. That being, I think, the last county that's both in the de jure and de facto kingdom that we want. If I had any ships up here, I'd go round there by sea, but I don't. So we have to do this the slow way. How am I off for devotion? I've got quite a lot. But I think I was beginning to run out of... I suppose I could go up to search, looking for other vassals of the Empire of Outremer and trying to convert them, because my coming out does actually affect the entire kingdom. I mean, I suppose I could have a go at the dukes, but that might be asking a bit much. See if there's anyone with high diplomacy whom we haven't already failed to induct. There's one. Well, I mean, I say high diplomacy, at least non-trivial diplomacy. So that's a diplomatic thing, so we'll go for community. Oh, I've got some more troops here. Excellent. You can come ashore into Ostrobosnia as well. We'll keep this fleet here because they're probably going to be needed to bring some people home again. Excellent. See if we'll join our merry band of what's names. Aha! Crusade for Finland has ended. Pope Sylvester III won. God has granted Duke Wulfhere of de Hoybath victory in the Crusade for Finland. High Chief Rastos of Finnmark has been beaten at every turn through the war and has finally had to give up on his holdings in Finland. Duke Wulfhere has granted the new lands of Finland to Pope Sylvester. The Pope has made an announcement about the victory and the virtues of the Crusaders as the true faithful protectors of the faith. With the pagans being pushed out of their own old lands, there are certainly more conflicts to come, praise God. Oneka di Spoleto has had saintly skull added to her treasury. The skull of Saint Cecilia, apparently created in 1294. Monthly piety plus 0.1, same religion opinion plus 3. Conveniently, you only have to be Christian and not necessarily Catholic for it to activate. Doesn't have to be equipped. You aren't required to wear the saintly skull. So presumably somewhere around here. Was it Oinan? Yes, it was Oinan whom I nominated as my crusade beneficiary, and he has gained a county. Metal! I hope you noticed that Heiju had a wolf skull on her head in the thing, Paint the Town music video, but then she's fairly metal. Right, now we need to pile everyone back onto their ships, except they won't fit. Because I've got 6,500 troops here and only 26 ships to put them on. Okay, where are my other ships? So we've got a bit of spare capacity there. But it's quite difficult for us to... So what we want is to split off 69 of those ships. That's still not enough, is it? No. I think this fleet needs to head back home and unload with its troops who never even made it to Finland. We should load up all 2,600 of this lot. And these guys are just going to have to hang around. I mean, I suppose they can start marching home, but they won't get very far. And, well, the papacy has slightly more land. Queen Oneka the Just has fulfilled the ambition to become a paragon of virtue, which I think gains her something quite useful, like diplomacy. Can't remember. I covered my face before Mass, and once at church I sat down next to Volsrum. Yes, he has joined our ranks. Oh, my intrigue is so low I can actually try to improve it. Excellent. Because I am so trusting and kind. So, how is the Emperor of Outremer doing for money? He's still got negative money, despite presumably having just had a successful crusade. Given how much piety and prestige, he's got quite a lot of prestige anyway. Maybe he didn't have that successful a crusade. Oh no, hang on. There isn't a decimal point in there, is there? He actually has, I'd read that as minus 71.41 money. No. He's got minus 7,141 money. Like, how do you get your... Well, you know how he's got himself into that situation. There's at least last I looked, a bunch of armies kicking around, burning through his money. Yes, I don't know quite why he's got into that situation. I'm quite astonished that he hasn't been, like, invaded by mercenaries or something, or, like, surely no one trusts you to owe them 7,000 gold in this world. Anyway, yes. Right. The victories against the infidels were hard fought. No, they weren't. You're lying. But things have finally settled down, and the titles that I fought for, well, one title, were given to Owen and Di Spoleto. It will surely be difficult to be a part of the new kingdom, well, as part of the papal lands, but I will wish him luck in his future endeavours. I look back one last time as my men leave Laucus. It's going to be a little while before they actually leave. I wonder what life would be like if it had been me staying here rather than Owen and Di Spoleto. No, I do not wish to be Oinon. Al Jazeera is my home. Right, meanwhile, let's build some stables. Is there anything to build in my other domain? Yes. Since I've got far too much money now. Oh yes, Bispahar, that's my place that I'm not going to give it away anytime soon because I have other plans. My friend became aghast when I told him that I'd sent the miller's boy to a nearby city with my finest stallion. "You'll never see that horse again," he said, utterly convinced. But I was wrong. But he was wrong, of course. I don't really need 15 more piety now. I think this is I got that because I was trusting. Right. The first batch of armies are loaded onto a ship and can be sent home. Didn't I just like send her off to be married a few weeks ago? I caught my young ward Herimel torturing a rat behind the stables today. So is he interesting anymore? I don't think he is really. Well, I don't need the piety now. Try to be kind. Well, at least he's not cruel. I mean, you guys can at least march down to the capital of the papacy. Yes, my vassals are now starting to get pissed off at how long, oh, feast time, how long I've held this, how long they've kept their troops raised, because I'm trying to get them home. Right, just randomly inducting my steward. Simply because he's there. Let's see who wants to come to my feast. Quite a lot of people do not want to come to my feast. What a pity. Yes, you can join us. Still stuck at about 92 members. Very odd. "93 members, maybe. How helpful. A random bishop becomes my friend. He'll probably not be so friendly once he discovers that I'm Fraticelli. Oh, hush. Look, you're secretly Fraticelli too. Why am I sending them there? That's much nearer. Send that fleet back up to pick up the remaining troops. Actually, we need 3-9. So that lot would do. You'd think the Pope would let me use his port, but apparently not. My troops have to wade out into the sea in order to get collected. So, how are things looking in the vicinity of Abyssinia? They've got a decent number of troops. Much less money than they used to have, though. Oh, new Duke of Tripoli, who is conveniently already secretly Fraticelli. So I've currently got 21,000 troops and Abyssinia has only 8,000, and I've got much more money than them if it really comes to it. And presumably I now actually have a decent casus belli, but I can't test that because I still have a bunch of levies raised, because it takes so damn long to get home from Finland. Obviously I should have a county up there just for dismissing troops in. Well, let's optimistically try to convert some of my dukes. I mean, it probably won't work, but it's worth a try. Yes, Pink Beast, if you dismiss troops anywhere in your territory, they automatically, like, well, they don't so much teleport home as they just can be raised elsewhere in the relevant in their own territory. So I suppose maybe they do teleport home. I don't know. Philosophy. That's nice. It's nice to keep discovering people are secretly Fraticelli. Claire says, like electrons. Yes, I suppose a bit like electrons. And yes, obviously we can teleport generals all over the place. Well, commanders. That poor army stuck in Finland is still waiting for its ferry to arrive. I can't even remember why I've imprisoned you. I shall be merciful and then see if I can... I think you were just plotting to kill someone I didn't want you to plot to kill. But, I mean, it's not surprising. It's quite hard to recruit a duke. Oh, I've got a slot at the moment. Let's teach him. No, I shouldn't teach him. He's my heir, isn't he? We want to make sure he has a good education to get... What on earth is going on with his backstabbing? I mean, he's got 22 diplomacy already. I'm almost tempted to try to get him backstabbing education just to get that number up a bit. You also get +2 martial, which would be nice for him, and +2 diplomacy. And it would get his backstabbing up to halfway decent. Or we go for giving him insane amounts of diplomacy. But insane martial is usually much more useful than insane diplomacy. But I'm kind of tempted to give him insane or not insane backstabbing, just get him up to halfway decent backstabbing. Which would suggest we pick, well, we only seem to have one elusive shadow in my court. We get him educated by my spy master, who is currently ill and wounded, but yeah, go on. Yes, he's zealous, that's why we haven't converted him to Fraticelliism. Where's the ferry service got to? Currently in the Bay of Biscay. Bahrain is engaging in civil war. So yes, we might want to imprison Duke Gonzalo as a zealous Catholic. We've already tried to recruit him. This guy is not zealous, but don't think we have any good reason to actually imprison Ansar di Spoleto. Presumably he's plotting something. He's plotting to kill Maria Ramirez for no very obvious reason. She's an heir to a county, I suppose. Let's just ask him not to. Come on, ships, get there. Okay, not yet reached the Bay of Biscay, I'm just not paying attention. Right, thank you, no more plotting. Oh, there's a Holy Roman Revolt, how nice. Oh, he's now, what? He has the titles of Pope, the Pope has the titles of Pope, King Bishop of the Theocracy of Finland, and King Bishop of the Theocracy of Crusader Finland. Which appears to have been created alongside Finland. Excellent. Presumably because the Kingdom of Finland was already held, admittedly by the Pope, but thus in order to give him a kingdom as a result of the crusade, he's got an additional Crusader Finland. Oh, hush about the heretics. which now makes me wonder what's going to happen at the next crusade, when he will presumably declare yet another crusade for Finland in order to get that little bit back. Or possibly that little bit there. Though really, it's one county, how hard can it be? Right. My son and rival, for reasons I can't currently remember, Prince Ordonio has come of age and can therefore marry his betrothed Edhild Valtheof's daughter, who is a genius but has somehow come out as a thrifty clerk. Well, she'll do. Let's turn her Fraticelli, it will make life simpler. Oh well, my Chancellor didn't last long, did he? Died after a period of illness. I hope these are not my Fraticelli you're converting. I don't think they are. Oh, the ships have arrived. Good. Get on the ships. Not that we needed nearly that many of them because a bunch of our troops have died hanging around in Finland. Right, Edhild would probably like just a fair and mighty ruler, given that she is both just and a thrifty clerk. Meanwhile, you lot can come back. Maria von Weinsberg has cleared off because her husband's dead. On which subject we should find a new one. Let's get the other Ogothia, I suppose. Neither a new husband nor a new Maria von Weinsberg, but a new Chancellor. Right. Have invited a new Chancellor over. I mean, possibly if we could have found out her husband really quickly, she might have stayed in our court. Should she join us? She only has 7 diplomacy, but let's get her in anyway. Actually, Prince Ordonio has excellent diplomacy, despite having been brought up as an elusive shadow. Actually, I'm going to appoint Prince Ordonio as my Chancellor, even though he's also my rival. Sorry, recent arrival, you're not going to get to do that job. And then let's send him off to cheer up the Duke of Aleppo, I suppose. He's in Hama, not Homs, right? I just want to get that last army home. Oh well, she wouldn't join us anyway. Oh, hang on, reset that lot. No, you can't induct zealots. No, we won't hold a feast this year. She will probably like Fair and Mighty Ruler. Watch that ship coming home. Caramel, stop torturing rats. Bah. Oh, he's a tricky one. Does ambitious require Fair and Mighty Ruler? It might do. I know that backstabbing doesn't get you doesn't have anything it wants to read. Oh, excellent. No, you shouldn't actually join the society. I can afford to do another one right now. Yeah, we do have hostage with foreign power problems for the ones who are not actually our vassals. Yeah, we can get him though. He's not inconveniently thingamy. Zealous. Let's deal with that. We even have a slot. Excellent. Thought I recruited someone called Piares, but maybe it was a different Piares. Or maybe he's already been, someone's already made an attempt at recruiting him. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Count Albrecht, dutiful cleric, so let's go for philosophy. Someone else deal with the peasant revolt. Right, little Count Piares has been converted. Excellent. Count Albrecht has been converted. Zealous Rutger, Prince Bishop of Sana. I think we're now out. I've now run out of devotion though. Yes. So I can't convert anyone else right now because I don't have the devotion to do it. 99 members though, might get 3 digits. Right, yawn. My troops have finally returned home. Yep. Claire says, hello Ben, it is 1 AM. Yes, it is 1 AM, which is why I'm now going to go to bed because I've finally got all my troops home from that pesky crusade. And so I can snooze. Yes, next time probably we go to war with Abyssinia, and I think it's pretty close to the point where it would be okay, wise might be pushing it a bit, but not entirely unreasonable. Just looking around to see if I can spot any other people who've got the secret Fraticelli community modifier, but maybe I can't see them. It's probably getting close to the point where we could actually reveal our true faith and try to convert the whole of the Middle East to Fraticelliism. But that will be for another time, if I remember, which I probably will. And so until then, good night.